Hey guys, we're back with another episode of Taco Imposters for Wednesday, August 16th, 2023. 9 a.m. I don't know why I want to say anything. But anyway, yeah. What was I going to say? I was going to talk about something about. Okay, so I watched a. Just a sec. I was watching a Cinemassacre video, and it was James Ralph. He was doing like a whole thing on. What do you call it? On like nostalgic books, like reviewing books. Not book reviews, like a book report or a book or book club thing. No, like books as in like just books he used to read as a kid, books he likes, books he wants to show people, stuff like that. And I was just like, nobody does that. I haven't heard a single person. I mean, maybe I'm an idiot in the sense that like I've never looked for it, but definitely never seen. I may be the only, or maybe the only one. I may be stupid, or whatever. But like, I've never heard of people reviewing books. Not even close. It's weird. He starts with like stuff like it's all kind of like horror-y type of stuff because he loves horror stuff, but and stuff like that. But um, what's it called? He starts with like Goosebumps, and okay. To be honest, I read some Goosebumps as a kid. Once I learned that Goosebumps were kind of ripping off what's it called? I kind of was like, oh, what's it called? Twilight Zone and stuff like Twilight Zone and it was two things. It was Twilight Zone and then they just like did things like two or three times. Like you'd have Say Cheese and Die, which is about a camera that would kill you, and then Say Cheese and Die again. And they did that one in Goosebumps. Goosebumps did that one in ripped it from Twilight Zone. So it's like, oh man. The other thing is, they just got kind of like lame. They were just kind of lame. They were lame, and they got a lot of them. Like there's just so many of them they couldn't keep up. But what was I gonna say? But they were fine. They were okay. I watched the show more than I read the book, but I never really did either of them very much. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Yeah. So what was I gonna say? Yes. I mean, like, so I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying they're like terrible or anything. But they kind of felt into that category of because he talked about how like you can't. He couldn't keep up with them because they just started producing them faster than you could even, like faster than he could read them. So and he was like, forget it. And he also got kind of older, 11, 12, 13. He's like, I need good stuff. So it's like, excuse me. Yeah, like, and because it was kind of like how, because I used to read the Magic School Bus, not Magic School, Magic Treehouse. There were Magic School Bus books, but that's not what I was talking about. I'm talking about Magic Treehouse. And so with Magic Treehouse, I was like, they just started producing them faster than I could read them. I had the first like. And I never got them from myself. Like, I never bought them myself, ever. I don't think I bought a single one of them. I think maybe I bought some of the newer ones, but I didn't. My brother would have. I think we would have bought one. What happened was, like, they just kept coming out faster than we could read them. Anyway, and we never bought any of them, really, to be honest. We would always get them from other people. I think we got everyone's, like, box sets. I think we got box set, like, 3 box sets or something. I don't know. They're fine. They're kind of weird too. It kind of went from being this like educational series to being this like. Cause I'm going to review books right now. I'm going to talk about a lot of books that I used to read as a kid, and maybe now I don't know. Anyway, and it went from being an educational series of hey, look, let's learn about something, and there's some kind of magic here with a magic treehouse and whatever. To okay, so there's like a weird creature that got changed from way back in the day with like, witches and wizards and Camelot and Merlin and what's her name? Morgan Le Fay and all that stuff, right? To oh no, this is like full on magic. The education in quotes are in quotes now because like it's kind of educational. Nah, they happen to go to some place, then they go back in time. Then they fight like monsters, evil monsters like sea serpents and such, and and squid like that. I'm like, oh my god, what? So it's not educational anymore. And it's like not really. Not particularly, no. No. It's like, oh my god. What the heck? And I didn't like that when they became like they became like master librarians or whatever. It's like, oh my god. I stopped reading when it started to get to that point because I'm like, this is not the same thing anymore. This is listening to them on tape too, and I was just like, oh my god, this is dumb. This is just actually dumb. As in like, and I mean what I mean by dumb is like, but you, and they, but you, we would, and oh my god, I just didn't want it. I wanted the educational thing, and I liked that about it. Anyway, there was a few things I liked as a kid. I liked that, and I like reference books for some reason. I always liked reference books. There's something about reference books that I always kind of liked. I don't know. And then any book with like nice pictures. So I loved things like Where's Waldo's and like search books like that, and books like the one book I remember reading as a kid that I liked later in life, but I liked is a book called Strange Stories for Strange Kids. Man, was that a weird book? I remember it because it had a maze in it from this story of a guy going through a maze. I remember that being like the only thing I ever liked reading. I used to get it from a library, and then one day I was like, it must be on Amazon. It must be on Amazon. So I look on Amazon. Of course, it's right there. It's right there on Amazon. Greatest stuff. The stories are some of the most bizarre things you'll read as like kid stuff. Oh, it's like weird, like a little short story. Ugh, it's crazy. It's just bizarre, but it's great. So read them. They're amazing. If you can get them, Strange Stories for Strange Kids. It's amazing. They're like fantastic. And get the one with like the little green bug on it. It's like a big green bug. It's like a big green bug reading comic books. It's great. See, that's the thing. I never read comic books. I was never a comic book person. Not that comic books are terrible. I just never read them. I don't care. I never kept up with them. I never read them. They're also the kind of thing where it's like, well, how am I supposed to read this? This is way too much. Like, how am I supposed to read this? Where am I supposed to start? Which arc? How do I do this? I tried reading the Superman, Death of Superman arc, and I was like, there's way more than I thought there was, because I had the Funeral for a Friend's arc of the Death of Superman arc. There's like an arc in an arc. It's weird. Or like that set of them. Man, was it weird. And what I mean by that is like, it's just like there's a lot of it, and it's crazy, and it's like, what? And then there's a whole like compendium where they like compilation where they make a trade paperback of it, where it's like, oh my gosh, so there's like a whole thing. Look into it, it's crazy. It's like Superman dies, and then there's all these fake Superman, and then there's robotic Superman, and then like Doomsday is like, I can take over the world now, and then like Superman comes back because like, oh yeah, Superman never dies. It's like, it's a weird thing anyway. It's crazy, but anyway, I was never a comic book guy. Yeah, because I was telling my friend, right, where I was talking about like books with my friend, and he was just kind of like, because I'm like, animes, give me animes, they're all the same. They're all the same, or they're completely different, and they're weird. And he's like, yeah, oh yeah, you probably won't like, you're not a anime guy, and I'm like, not really. And then he goes, well, oh, well, I go, I'm not a comic book person. Oh, there you go. You're not gonna want animes. Although, where did it go? Damn it! I need that book. Where did it go? It's a good question. Where did it go? I have what's it called? The Legend of Zelda, um, Ocarina of Time anime. Oh, sorry, manga. Sorry, manga, not anime. Manga. Where did it go? Oh, you suck. I need to find it because it was moved. Of course, it was moved. Why would it be moved? See, look right here. Christmas in Camelot and Haunted Castle on Halloween Eve. Hallows Eve. Halloween is All Hallows Eve, isn't it? No, that's the day before Halloween, isn't it? All Hallows Eve. That's the one that's Spook Night, isn't it, or whatever it's called? That like, I don't know. Anyway, I'm looking at all the books I have here, right? Right. So, um, where is it? Cause I want it. Where'd it go? One of the best. Oh man, I'm just looking at a DVD just quickly right here. One of the best DVDs to watch ever. It's not a great story, but everything else around it is amazing. Is Monsters Crashed at a Pajama Party. It's one of the best covers I've ever seen. Just look it up. Oh, it's great. I love it. Anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, it's because I ripped it out too. There, cool. Wow. What's next? Okay. Anyway, where did the book go? I hate it with a... Oh, there it is. God. Yeah, I love it. I love Open Time. Anyway, so I'm looking at the other books here, too. And, like, man, were they... Yeah. What else is there? Lots of little things. I have Stephen King's Christine. I never read it. I have, like, random things here, too. I have that series of, somewhere I have a few of the series of The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi. Or, like, I think that's what it's called, anyway. Yeah. Oh, you want a great book? You want a great book series. You are not great, sorry, book. You want a great book? Read, okay. Oh, nice. Read Off the Wall Graffiti. It's like some of the best stuff you'll ever read ever. It's incredible. Honestly, I think it's some of the best things you'll ever hear ever. It's amazing. It's amazing. Then obviously you got Asterix and Obelix. You've got Tintin. You got like Calvin and Hobbes, Charlie Brown, Garfield, that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff I liked. Those kind of comics I liked. Never read Archie. Never read superheroes. None of that. I don't know. I asked people once on a Discord server on a comic book Discord. What's a good comic book series that's like a non-superhero comic book series? And they're like, oh yeah. They gave me like a whole bunch. So anyway, so what was I gonna say? Yeah. So ow, my I'm leaning on my elbow. Not a good idea. Doesn't help. Anyway, so this is a great one. I have to say. If you like Zelda and you like mangas and you like Ocarina of Time, or just get the whole series. I think it was like 220 or something like that, Canadian, something like that, for the whole series in a nice wooden case. It's amazing, fantastic. It's good. It's good, I have to say. I'm looking at other things like Nintendo Power and like, stuff like that, and I'm like, okay, yeah. And then there's good book series like I like the Harry Potter stuff. I like Charlie Bone, although I've tried reading it again and I just didn't really care. I like what else do I like? City of Ember is a good one too. What's that one that we read? It was like the Door of Time or something. It was about these two twins who move to like a different part of the world. Like they move, and what happens is with the moving, they end up finding a door in their like new house. I don't. Okay, no. Actually, you know what now? I don't 100% remember. Right? If it was, I don't 100% remember if it was that they moved or they lived with their grandpa for like a summer or something. I feel like they might have just lived with their grandpa for like a summer or something, or their uncle or something. I just remember it being like they found an old house. They were in an old house, and the old house had like a door, and the door went into this like other magical world. Good one, fine enough. You know, it's a good one too. It's a good author. I like his work. Um, Roald Dahl. I'm like Charlie Bone, Charlie Brown, Charlie and Chocolate Factory. Roald Dahl, yeah. Little strange, but not too bad. He's nothing in comparison to some of the other guys. Some of the other guys are the most wackest people you'll ever read. Like there's some, right? Just a sec. There are some that are just crazy, like stupid crazy. Like read the original 101 Dalmatians. Read the original read the series of I've never read these, but I've heard all the like things about it that are like weird. Read the original 101 Dalmatians. Read original Stuart Little. Read. Oh, you know what a good book is? You know what a good book is? I want to tell you a good book. The Quick Kid in Times Square. It's a good one. That's a very good one. Um, read the original Wonderland. Read the original Wizard of Oz. Most bizarre stuff you'll ever see ever. It's so weird. Read the original Matilda. Read the original. Yeah, just the weirdest stuff. Like just the weirdest things to read. Like just so bizarre. Like what? Excuse me. Like yeah. Wow. It's just bizarre. It's just absolutely bizarre. Ugh. Look, I'm looking at some of the other books I have on my shelf, and I'm like, ugh. I have a lot of comic books that I just am never going to read just because I'm not that kind of person. You know what a good series of books is? I like, especially for children. The what are they called? They are called Time Machine, I think, from the publishers of Choose Your Own Adventures. The Choose Your Own Adventure kind of books. They're actually not bad. Oh god, they're actually not that bad. I don't think they're great, obviously, but they're not that bad. They're a little short and they're a little bit like, the selections that you choose in the books kind of go from back and forth. So it's like, you're doing the same selection again. Yeah, but whatever. And then you kind of go back and like, anyway. But because I remember reading The Cave of Time, which was a big, thick like novel. Oh god, novel. That was like a good version of that, and then these were like, these are just kind of short, but they're fine. They're just kind of short. Yeah, I don't know, nothing wrong with them. And there's all these other things like I have a flipbook animation book. I tried reading The Accidental Tourist. I'm telling you right now, that book right there, one of the most boring books I've ever read ever. So bad. What else? Batman Begins, yeah, it is. Batman Begins on my hard drive. Anyway, then, what else is there? I'm looking at the Star Wars X-Wing series, Rogue Squadron. They're actually not bad. I want to tell you right now, the worst book I've ever read. And I can't even exactly explain why it was so bad. It was just the most boring thing ever. Don't ask me why. I thought it was so bad. Well, my mother agrees with me. She's like, it's a book called The Second Mrs. Giocondo. Okay, now, I don't know what the heck that's all about. It's a book about, okay, why it was so bad. But it was a book about so the Mrs. Giocondo was the like person that the Mona Lisa was painted, the person that Da Vinci painted for the Mona Lisa, right? It was like Lisa Giocondo or something. Okay, wait. I think it was like Lisa Giocondo or something. The absolute worst book I've ever read. I don't know. I hated it with a passion. I hated it so much. I haven't a dang clue why it was so bad, but it was just terrible. Whoopsie, terrible. Let me get my I need to get my plug. Sorry, I need to get plugged. Be right back. Because this thing's gonna die. This audio recorder is gonna die. So just give me a second. Let me get my. I'm gonna get actually a battery. So let's see. Battery. Yes. So it was. I don't know why. It was just boring, terrible, awful. Something about that book. I was just like, this is the worst. So. Yeah. Just so bad. So bad. I mean, obviously, yes. There's other books like the Bible. Read the Bible, obviously. But, like, other than the Bible. Oh, you know what a great series for children is? I love. Is, read, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. They're so good. You know what another good book is? Storm Runners. It's read by the same guy who reads, well, I'm looking at the, audiobook, but it's read by the same guy, the book, CD. So, it's read by the same guy who does, it's Ramon de Ocampo. So it's the same guy who does the Diary of a Wimpy Kid. God, I love that guy. Like, it's so good. Actually, I don't remember it at all, but I remember Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Now, those were, like, just amazing books. I've read them all. Not all of them, actually. Again, they started coming out faster than I could read them. But they were great. I listened to a lot of them. I listened to almost all of them. I listened to them all. Except for the first one, I think. And a few of the others, like the seconds and whatnot. Alright, sorry, not second. So, like, anyway, the other ones. Movies, I'm sorry, I'm going to say right now, I don't think they're that great the way some people think they're so nostalgically amazing. They're fine. I'm just saying, like, they're fine. I have no problem with them. I'm just saying, like, they're not as great as people make them out to be. People make them out to be, like, the greatest things ever. And I'm just like, they're okay. The movies. The books are absolutely fantastic. I love them. For some reason, they're great. They really do a really good job of just being amazing. I don't know why. I don't know why they're, like, the best things ever. They're so good. I don't know why. There's just something about them that is amazing. I don't know. I just can deal with them as opposed to, like, a lot of other books. Like Harry Potter, I never finished reading that series. I've heard Percy Jackson's good. I never finished reading Charlie Bone. I heard Twilight's actually decent. Like, it's not terrible. It was a very memed book series. Oh, no, I hate it. No, it's fine. What else? What other series are there? Anyway, so yeah. Yeah. There's also, like, books like How to Learn Whatever, and then the Dummy series for Dummies. It's a pretty good series, too. Actually, I used 2 of them, I think. Yeah. So they're pretty good. Anyway. So, yeah, I mean, I've heard Stephen King's a great author if you like weird thrillers and horrors. Oh, Michael Crichton, Jurassic Park is actually amazing. I've read, like, about half, maybe a little bit more than half. Oh, man, is it great. Do I love it or what? It's actually really good. What else is great? Books. I have to say, kids these days, read more books, man. There's some great books that you're missing out on, man. The Time Traveler's Wife, my dad read, great book. My dad also read The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. He said it was pretty great. There's a movie about it, right? Wasn't there? Yes. Anyway, I mean, yes, obviously there's all the classics, the Charles Dickens stuff, and the Moby Dicks, and the Mark Twains, and the like Huckleberry Finns, and the like, Wuthering Heights, and all that. Not crap, but all that like whatever. I'm trying to tell you all the books other than those Shakespeare and like other than that kind of stuff. Ooh, you know, other than that kind of stuff. Because like for me at least, I'm like, ugh, I don't really care. As in like, I don't really like yes, I want books that are great. Other than you know, a good series is what was it called? It was something like I know it was by was it Kevin something? No, it was like the Nightwing. What was it called? I don't know. Was it called Nightwing? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, it was the I can't tell you what I couldn't tell you what it was called now, but I mean like it was something like that though, like Sunwing, Nightwing. It's Kenneth O'Peal. The one about in a the one about a guy in a or the kid in the like dirigible, the airship. That's a good one. I read the first one. I didn't read any of the others. Sorry, I didn't read any of the others. And I didn't read any of the like Sunwing, Darkwing, Nightwing, whatever. Isle of what is it called? Isle of Swords. That Isle of Swords series, the Isle of series. That's apparently really good. My dad read that. I didn't read that. I started reading the first one and I was like, I don't like this. I really don't. I don't really like this. I'm like, whatever. So, okay, I have to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So, yeah, okay, I'm back. So, let's go back to what we're doing. What I was doing, looking at books. So yeah, I mean, what was I gonna say? I don't know. Those are great. I don't know. There's lots of good books. I mean, I have a Zach King's book. Um, what's it called? I don't remember. Zach King, My Magical Family, My Magical Life, My Magical Life, which has a whole bunch of like AR stuff. You scan it and it goes into whatever. I don't know. Weird in my opinion, but okay. I don't really care. It's fine. It is what it is. Look, I'm not a big reader. I was never a big reader. I was read to as a kid a lot. I was read to as a kid a lot, and then I just kind of. Oh, anyway, and then I just kind of like listened to a lot of other books. So. Oh. Oh. So yeah, I never was a great like. I love books. No, my brother was. My brother, okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, and his best friend read the Harry Potter series, right? And they read it multiple times. Well, 2, 3 times. It's like okay, whatever, whatever. My brother's best friend read like the what's it called series Harry Potter. My brother's best friend read the like Harry Potter series maybe 5, maybe 10. My brother read it literally 30 times. I'm not even joking. He literally read the series like 30 times. He knows it inside and out. It was crazy. That's all he did for like 5 years. Not even joking, for like 3 years, 3, 4 years, 5 years. He just completely read Lord of the Rings. Harry Potter, 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 again, again and 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 again. I'm like, oh my god, nobody likes something this much. I'm not. No. Bullcrap, like baloney. That's a bunch of baloney. I cannot accept that you like this that much. And he's like, yeah, I love it. What? Is that Baby's Land? I just looked at. Sorry. Nope, Bizland. Busyland. Sorry. I was reading looking at the official Super NES game guide. We'll flip through it quickly, but yeah, like, oh my god, like I'm not saying, right? Look, I'm not saying you can't read it that many times, but like, God, he like, cause his whole thing was to beat his friend, like record, which was like 10 or something, maybe 510 or something. He ended up doing it by like tripling it or something. It's incredible, tripling or quadrupling it. It was insane. It was absolutely insane too. It was like one of those like, what? Why? Because it's great. And I'm like, sure. You didn't read any other series that many times. Not Charlie Bone, not anything, nothing. Not Charlie, yeah, Charlie Bone, nothing. Like, yeah. He's read the Charlie Bone again, and he's read City of Ember again. Those were good books. I think City of Ember is a very good book series. I listened to the other books. I didn't read the first one actually. I listened to that one too. Well, I kind of read it. I don't know. You know what a good book is? The sequel to Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, Charlie and the Galaxy Elevator, or Wonka and the Galaxy Elevator, whatever it's called. It's actually a really good series. A really good book. It's bizarre. They go into space with the president, and they're gonna have like a space thing. I don't know. It's weird, but yeah. I mean, look, in my opinion, it's actually pretty good. Anyway, what were they gonna say? Yeah, so I mean that's book series for you. I was never a big reader. I never loved reading. I thought reading was just kind of meh. You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of okay. You know what I mean? Yeah, just kind of okay. Like, I never did comic books. I never did that kind of. No, I mean, it was what it was. It was okay. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I thought it was just kind of meh. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. Reading's reading. I never liked to read. But but then again, it's like a lot of things. If I get into something though, like, oh, I like this series, I'll read it. Problem is, I just don't want to read it, right? I don't know. I just don't want to read. It's the physical reading. Oh, the other good stuff is the novelizations where they take a book and they go, or a movie. Sorry. So like I first read E.T. I didn't finish that book. I almost did. I'm close to it. But then I read Back to the Future Part 3 because I got it one time from, it wasn't a library. It was a church basement sale. Like, it was like a bookstore that they have. Anyway. And so I was like, okay. And I read it. Oh, it's a good one. The novelization of a movie, And apparently there's like a whole subsection of books that are novelizations of movies. It's like a whole thing. I was like, what? And apparently there's that E.T. has a sequel. The only official sequel to E.T. is in book form. Like, it's like canon that this is what happened. I was like, what? Okay. I never watched E.T., but I read the book, so read the novelization. And I like novelizations. I've heard that they're really good. Like, I know, like, they'll sometimes take an episode of a cartoon and make it into a book for a kid to read. But I was like, wait a sec. Wait a sec. You can read an entire movie? And this is, I've seen Back to the Future Part 3, and I read the book, and I went, okay, this is slightly different than the book. Than the movie, sorry. Not bad. I like how it just doesn't just completely make it the same exact thing as a movie. They make it slightly different, so which is good. I like that. Whoa! Stuff for falling here. But yeah, I like that about it. So anyway, I don't know. That's just my opinion on the on books in general. I'm not a great big book guy. Another bizarre book is Peter Pan. He basically runs a cult with the the Lost Boys. He's basically running a cult, and it's like, I was reading it going, excuse me, this is a cult, and like, he does that whole thing where he convinces, what's his name, John, what are the names of the characters in Peter Pan? I don't remember. What's their names? John? Ben? No. Peter? Peter. No. Peter Pan. John. I need the names of the characters. No, Wendy, John, and... Pan. Oh, Peter Rabbit. Never read that kind of stuff. Never read Fantasy Bear either. Characters of Peter Pan. Just plays and stuff. Yeah, yeah. I don't want that. I want Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, Wendy, John and Michael. Michael. That's it. Convinces Wendy, John, and Michael. Their parents don't matter. Nothing matters. And then Wendy's like, I remember something of something, and he's like, ooh, you know nothing. You remember nothing. I'll smack you until you don't remember nothing. And you're the mother, and I'm the father. Kind of. I don't even know. It's weird, bizarre, and dumb. Look, I don't think it's that bad. I mean, he's a whack, but like, what do you expect from this kid? This kid lost his. I'm sure he lost his parents, and like did that whole thing of like lost his parents, but like and didn't want to ever grow up because like, well, I don't want to grow up because I just don't want to grow up, which is fair. No kid wants to grow up. Every kid like clamors to be an adult, but then once they really think about it, they're like, I don't want to grow up. I want to be a kid because you realize what adulthood is. Because once you get to that age, because there's a certain age at like 11, maybe like 13, when you realize, oh shit, I don't want to be an adult. So you want to be a kid forever. See, I think the perfect age is like about 7 years old. What I mean by perfect age is the age where your mother or father, maybe 11, maybe 12, but that age where it depends on the person too, and it depends on the family, it depends on the like setup. But a lot of times it's like, okay, yeah, is basically the whole like when um when you're allowed to do things, but you're not necessarily like you're not old enough where they give you so much responsibility that you have to go do things, but you're not too young where they won't let you do things. It's like that perfect age where maybe it's not the thing anymore, but when you could go out with your friends and just like play in the community, play in your neighborhood, right? That's a good age for people, I think, personally. Oh, I don't know why I'm even talking about this, but yeah, I just feel like yeah. So yeah, like Jaws with the book. I remember reading that Jaws with the book. Yeah. I'm gonna say this right now. I'm rewatching the original Jurassic Park. Not Jurassic Park. The first Jurassic World. God, I was rewatching it. God, it was not a good movie. My brother is right. As he said, actors are terrible, the story's whack, and the whole thing's just not very good. I'm like, it's fair enough. It's the first instance of seeing like Owen Wilson. I'm sorry, Owen Wilson. Nope. Um, Chris Pratt. Sorry, in a role other than hearing him as Emmett in the Lego Movie, which I didn't hate the Lego. I like. Okay, look, I've seen the second Lego Movie. Now we're gonna talk about something else other than books, but I saw the second Lego Movie and I saw the first one in theaters and the second one at home on DVD, and I went or on Blu-ray maybe. Anyway, and I just kind of went, wow, wow, it's not. The second one's not good. It's so terrible. Although I was like, oh, I love the first one. The second one's gonna be great. Okay, it's terrible. Like great, no, terrible. And I'm not saying it's the worst movie I've ever seen. It's so like badly terrible. It's not good, like at all. Like not at all. Like not even close. And I mean, it's not the worst, but God, it's just another one of those instances where it's like, oh, sequel's just kind of terrible in comparison to the first. Which I mean, whatever. But yeah, yeah, it's kind of terrible. It's kind of like movies where they're like mediocre. Like I remember robots. I remember liking robots as a kid, right? And then watching it again, being like, yeah, it's not bad. And then watching it fairly recently and being like, oh, actually, you know what? You're actually kind of right. People who are saying it's not great, it's kind of meh. All those people, it's like, oh, you're kind of right. There's people who are reviewing it as like a, wow, this isn't very good. It's just kind of mediocre. It's a thing that doesn't really make any sense, and you just have nostalgia for it, and you got your nostalgia goggles on, and you can't like, um, can't get past the fact that you need your nostalgia goggles. You gotta have, sorry, you need your nostalgia goggles. You can't take them off. You're never gonna like see them in the right light. I'm not saying right that that it's a terrible movie. I'm just saying like, okay, it's a mediocre kind of and it's one of those mediocre movies where it's like you only never made one of them. They never made anything out of it. It just kind of stopped. Like that was it. Like DreamWorks or there's DreamWorks and Pixar and Sony Animation and all that kind of stuff. Where it's like, oh, like they didn't do the stupid thing that something like Kung Fu Panda or Cloudy with the Channel Meatballs did, where it's like there's a sequel. There's 3 of these movies now for Kung Fu Panda. It's like what the heck? These aren't great, and they really weren't. I remember that. I remember watching the first Kung Fu Panda and being like, that's pretty cool. And the second Kung Fu Panda was just kind of like, oh, I heard about it. Or the sequel Me, where it's like there's like 5. Although I don't know. I don't know if anybody could have um predicted the fact how freaking big those stupid minions got. And it wasn't even that people liked the minions. It's just that they were freaking everywhere. They just wouldn't shut the frick up, and they wouldn't stop. They wouldn't leave us alone. They were everywhere. And there's still a stupid thing that, like, everywhere. Freaking everywhere. It's incredibly insane. It's insane. It's insane. It's insane. It's insane. I'm like, that's get out of my face. It's not even Despicable Me. It's the minions specifically. I don't even know why. They found this thing to like shove down our throats. I don't even know. Kids thought they were fine, and then it's okay, we're done. And then like, nope. Anyway, I'm just thinking that like they're just kind of shoved down everyone's throat. But you know, they made they made their own movie. What was it? What were there like 4? There was like what 4 Despicable Me and then 1 a Minions movie. I remember my friend watching the Minions movie and he told me because he liked the first 2, I think. Anyway, Despicable Me movies. I don't know if you liked the third one or not. I don't know. Maybe there were only 3. Maybe there was like 1, 2 Minions and then 3. I don't know. Anyway, it was okay. Or like those movies where they just won't stop making another, like freaking, oh my god, like Fast and Furious type of stuff where it's like, oh my god, how many freaking movies are you gonna make? 1,000? God, frick, man. Anyway, god, so bad. As in, like, oh my god, you're kidding me. Like, no, let's make another one. Or Mission Impossible. Those are another one. Where there's like 700 of them. I don't even know why they're making more. Cause they make money. That's just why. I just realized, like, cause they make money. They keep making them because they make money. What else do you want from it? Like, that's exactly what's going on. It's like it's like the meme of in the episode of in one of the episodes of SpongeBob where he just goes where someone like he's being interviewed. Mr. Krabs is being Mr. Krabs is being interviewed right in front of the Krusty Krab, right? And it's when they make a second. I think it's when they make a second Krusty Krab or something, or maybe not. I don't know. But he's just being interviewed, and then he's like looking at the camera like, and this weird smile like, hi. And then he goes, the reporter goes, well, why are you doing all this? And he goes, money, money. That's why. Like that's the thing. They'll stop producing terrible sequels to movies that already exist when they stop making money. Like that's the thing. A lot of these sequels, Star Wars is one that comes to mind. That is kind of terrible. Is okay. Is like they're not like something like the Marvel where they do a pretty good job of being pretty good movies. They're all pretty good. Like some aren't great, but most of them are pretty good. Like fairly decent. Star Wars just goes, and Star Wars is one of those. Fast and Furious and Mission Impossible, other ones, was like, oh, okay, it's not great. I don't know. Or the Indiana Jones, where they made another Indiana Jones. Anyway, it's just bizarre to me. I don't know. I don't really care. I'm just saying like whatever. But anyway, so yeah, I don't know. I'm just looking at my Nerf guns. Right, I only have 3 Nerf guns right now. I used to have more. I got rid of a lot of the old ones just because they broke or they were just like or piece didn't work well or it just was going bad. So I just like threw them away. And I mean, I like Nerf guns, but I don't know something about Nerf guns where it's like you can only do so much with Nerf guns. You can. I was watching a I don't remember his name. You know the guy who goes. I don't remember how to explain it. He's just a guy in front. I can't do this. I don't know. It's like Tuck something or other. Anyway, he's a YouTuber guy who goes watch stop. Who's in front of a green screen and he's talking about stuff, right? He always says like animals that I do not believe exist. or animals that are so cute I'd love to have or as a pet, or one of them was, or like foods that have to come back, or foods that are so underrated, or whatever, right? Foods that slap, but are underrated, right? The one that he said was um, hobbies that I do not want to get into because I would get way too into, right? I used to be so into. I never did anything with it, but I used to be so into Nerf. I'd watch all the stuff. I'd look up all the stuff. I'd want Ors Modworks. I'd want. Oh, what was the forum called that used to be around? Nerf forum. Okay, what was it called? Nerf Haven. That's the one. God, it was incredible how just like wow. Okay, they were like just insanely like involved. That was one where if I got into it in any way, shape, or form, you could spend the rest of your life, the rest of your energy, and all of your money on the rest of your life, all of your energy, and all of your money on it. Like just incredibly, incredibly incredible. Just 100%. Wow. Just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Like it's stupid. It's like wow. Okay, and it was. Like I looked into it and oh my god, I don't want to get into this ever. So yeah, and in every knockoff one and all the different things. And my pool used to have my summer pool used to have uh, used to have like a Nerf war with all the other pools around. It was fun stuff, fun times. So it's like who's left in the lifeguards. So yeah, it was pretty good stuff. I remember people just buying the cheapest, randomest guns. And I remember when I went to the next pool, 'cause I moved pools at a certain point because my pool just turned into a piece of crap, and I just didn't care, and I moved on to another one, and I had better friends and other friends and better friends at the other pool. Anyway, and they were just like the most like lame, lackadaisical, like, yeah, they bought a gun and like, poof, you're dead, because nobody ever come around. I remember the other pool, the first pool, it was a whole thing, and people would get like trash can lids and like they'd run around and be like, oh, can't get shot by this guy, and then you have like a list and like, oh, these people are still alive and these people aren't alive and this pool is still around and oh my god, it was great. Anyway, that pool was a great pool. But anyway, I think that's gonna be it for now, guys. I don't know. I mean, yeah. So I could talk about that pool for a while, but I'm not going to. So yeah, I think it's gonna be it for now, guys. Again, if you want to get in touch with me, there's the uh email tacoimposters@gmail.com. That's tacoimposters@gmail.com. There's the two discords, and then if you want to contribute in any way, there's the Patreon. Please contribute. But anyway, I think it's gonna be it for now, guys. So adios, mi amigos.